welcome back to another room tour video. I usually always do the yearly setup video, which I also haven't done yet for this year, but back in 2017 I also did a room tour in my room where I don't have my setup. But this is also kind of relevant because this is where I have the PS3 setup, sort of. I usually don't have it set up like now. So let's now cut to what it looks like when everything is set up. So this is what it now looks like when the wheel is set up. So yeah, the Logitech G27 is the wheel that I use on the PS3. It's a wheel that came out in 2009, so it is like 14 years old, but it still works fine. And of course my model is a bit newer than that, but it's crazy that it came out so long ago. And of course, compared to the Fanatec, which I use in the PS4 setup, it is a massive difference. Of course, this is a belt-driven or a gear-driven mechanism with brush motor, so it's pretty weak and not very smooth, but you know, it does the job. It's a solid wheel, especially for the time. And of course, you've got the H-pedal shifter and a 3-pedal set with a clutch. So it's not actually that bad. You can see I've got F1 2011 in the background. Which I've actually just completed my first season with Force India. So I am getting ahead a little bit of what I'm actually doing on YouTube, because I'm still uploading the F1 2010 career mode on YouTube. But I've actually already completed my season F1 2010 and a full season F1 2011 on the pad. And I'm actually going to use the wheel for season 2 on both these games. So yeah, this is basically what it looks like when everything is set up. So I still use the AV capture cards to record. I can't actually use the software on my PC anymore, on my laptop, because the old software still worked on my old laptop, but it started creating some issues with freezing and all that. With my new laptop, I can't actually install the new software, so I'm just using it in PC free mode with the use of an SD card. But spoiler alert, I've actually already signed with my team for season 2 of the F1 2011 career mode. You can see that I'm actually driving for McLaren, as you can see here in the motorhome. This is what it looks like. So there you go. Pretty cool, because of course in 2011 you always had a motorhome for the career mode hub. And I've never actually seen it before with the McLaren until I actually signed for the team. I haven't seen it for all the top teams, to be honest. Hopefully I will catch up soon with the videos. Okay, so this is what it looks like when everything is cleaned up again. Of course I have quite a small desk, and because I also use it for studying, I can't really have the wheel in the way all the time, so that's why I always switch it back to normal whenever I don't use it, which is a bit of a pain because it is a bit of a hassle to set everything up and then set it down again. But it is a bit nicer to be able to also properly use my desk that way. So let's just get into some details, because I haven't done a room tour in 6 years since I did that first one in 2017. I'll leave the link to it in the description so you can see what has changed. So over here we've got a calendar. This is a calendar which I got from my girlfriend with MotoGP riders on it, which is actually very cool. I'm currently cheating a little bit because this is actually October, but I just like it because it's Marc Marquez, of course, at Jerez, as it looks like. But it has like a different rider for each month. So we've got Culturaro there, and then Maverick Vinales, you know, basically a rider on each page. Johan Zarco there, Brad Binder on the KTM, etc. Got a Alex Marquez poster up there, which I got at the Tenkate event in New Leusden. Unfortunately, they're also giving Marc Marquez posters, but I wasn't able to get my hands on one. And another photo here. I don't actually know what corner this is, but it looks like it's Kota, like the long right-hander, but I'm not sure. So moving on, this is the desk. I've got a 93 here, which I saw and I thought it looked kind of cool. I might actually paint it in red or something, or maybe a bit of details on it. The monitor, there's actually a different monitor which you just saw, because I was actually using a monitor that Jure actually loaned to me, because I borrowed it because my previous monitor broke. But my girlfriend's dad actually gave this one to me because he didn't use it anymore. So this one is a little bit nicer. It's an LG think it's like 24 inches or something, so it's perfect because it fits perfectly underneath this wooden thing up there. So that's very nice. A photo thing which I got from my girlfriend as well. I don't actually have a photo inside it yet. And apart from that, that's pretty much it really. And I've got my laptop and my iPad down there as well. So this is where I just set up the Logitech G27 clamped to the desk whenever I use it. And I'd usually just put my PS3 over here. I currently have it in this closet over here. Yeah, I always just take it out of there and plug it in here whenever I use it. And plug in the HDMI cable, which is relatively easy because I just keep the cables in there. Apart from that, here I've got a couple of PS3 games. Of course, Gran Turismo 5 and 6. A couple of Need for Speed games as well. And of course, the old F1 games from Codemasters. And also a PlayStation 2 game, Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater, which is actually a game which I've never played. My uncle used to play it, and I used to play it with him, and he gave it to me, but my PS3 isn't actually compatible with PS2 games, because I've got the PS3 Slim. I actually need the fat PS3, which is backwards compatible with PS2 games. I might actually pick it up one day to be able to play games like that, and even to play the old Gran Turismo games, because I've also never played GT 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a diecast model from the 2011 RB7, which I actually bought when I was in Rhodos on a Greek island, which this is also Sebastian Vettel's version with the number 1 on it, because I was actually a Vettel fan back in the day. Got some race car advertisements here, and a Mercedes 2015 season guide, which I got from someone who went to Abu Dhabi that season. A MotoGP book with Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez in Silverstone 2015. Really nice book that actually. Maybe I can actually show you what it looks like. I actually got this from Sinterklaas a couple of years ago. But yeah, definitely a very nice book about MotoGP. This is Silverstone 2013 and Silverstone 2017. And also about the history and all that. Very, very nice. Okay, I guess all these riders. Bradley Smith in 2013 on the Tech 3 Yamaha. Cal Crutchlow and Scott Redding on the open class Honda, the RCV 1000R, and of course the 2014 Ducati. Here at the Silverstone by the looks of it. So yeah, very nice. And here Maverick Viñales is winning his first race for Suzuki in Silverstone as well. And this is also a really nice book which I saw in Germany in Aachen, which is about 1,000 places that you should have visited. Well, I don't think I'm gonna ever get to 1,000 in my life, but it's also a very nice book about all sorts of locations you can visit, which look beautiful, really, and also just yeah, a very nice book as well. So yeah, there's that. Way too much to show you, of course, but yeah, pretty heavy as well. Hopefully I'm not gonna drop it. All right, there you go. And apart from that, I actually got a F1 school agenda as well. I'm not really into agendas. I always struggle to use it properly. But this one is actually pretty cool, because it has like sort of these kind of stats and things related to F1 on every page, like the drivers and all that. So yeah, it is pretty cool. My girlfriend kind of encouraged me to buy this because I never really use agendas, and it is of course pretty handy to actually use it, but I just don't really have the motivation to always write everything down. And also an old MotoGP book there. Can you guess those riders? It's Loris Capirossi, Valentino Rossi and Max Biaggi in 2003, which is really about the rivalry of those Italians. This is a watch which I got from my grandpa, and a nice globe there as well, which can actually turn around as well too. No, it just turned off. There we go. So yeah, that's really everything, I think. This is a Mercedes book. I know that some of you aren't really Mercedes fans, and nor am I, to be honest. I mean, I'm a big Red Bull fan, but I do quite like Mercedes as a brand. I just don't really support the team that much. This was, of course, back in 2015 when Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton were driving for it. Well, obviously Lewis Hamilton still is. But that kind of sums everything up, really. Now you know what my room looks like here in Zaandam, because I actually have my racing setup in Wormerveer. It is always very different to go back to a small monitor and a Logitech wheel on the PS3 when I'm used to using a Fanatec and a much larger monitor on a PS4. It's a big difference in immersion and quality, of course. Well, I don't know if you're curious about what's inside the closets here, but it's not very exciting. It's basically way too full with useless stuff. So, I mean, this used to be a sock thing, but I actually use this to store all of my rhymes that I get from Sinterklaas, because that's like something we do here. It's hard to explain maybe for people that aren't Dutch. Yeah, it's basically just books and things, old laptops, and this is then where I have the PS3 and the capture card, which I always put there whenever I don't use it, and it just like it perfectly fits. The PS3 is like as if it's completely made for it, and I have too many cables. I can't stand that. That's my USB cable to drive my controller. There you go. And yeah, over here, it's just all a bit of a mess. All sorts of notes. Oh yeah, I've got a lot of Kickstart magazines as well, which I buy occasionally whenever I'm like waiting for the train or something. Got Michael van der Mark on the front there on the BMW M1000RR. Yeah, pretty cool. And yeah, apart from that, that's pretty much it really. Like a little Lightning McQueen car thingy. This is actually one of my first drawing books that I got from my grandma as a kid in 2007. So it's pretty cool to look back on. Can't believe I was 6 years old when I made this. Wrote down all sorts of stories and things like that. Are there any racing cars in this? I don't actually know. Surely there are. I think this is our garden. There's gotta be a racing car in there somewhere. Gotta be. Come on, don't be disappointed in myself. I'm actually gonna be. Oh, look, it's a boat which I called Mark. Interesting. What am I doing? Look at that. Rockets and all that. I think this was. I mean, this was 2007. Well, there is a truck with my name on it. I think this is really before the time where I got into F1, of course, because I didn't really grow up with it. I was into cars, but not necessarily into racing, because I hadn't really discovered it yet. So I think that explains why you can't actually find any Formula 1 stuff in here. I think I was too young. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing, isn't it? By the way, one other thing which might be a bit cool to show you guys as well is this book, because I used to make like a lot of strips as well. And this is kind of the main one. I started this in 2012 and I still haven't finished it yet. I used to do this during class, like in primary school. These are all the characters. And I basically just made entire stories using those characters. So that's actually pretty cool. It's a pretty long story and it still isn't finished yet. So yeah. I don't know where I got the inspiration from. Well, I think I got the inspiration from my own life and also from stuff like Kuifje, which is like, I think it's called Tintin in English, or like the French version as well, which was always like my favorite kind of strip. So I think it was mostly my imagination, I think. Look, we do actually find race cars in here. Look at that. Pit garage with a sneaker racing car. And this was kind of inspired by the McLaren Technology Center, which was inspired from McLaren tunes. So yeah, I think you can see where the inspiration started to come from. Oh, by the way, this is also pretty weird. Like, I was amazed when I saw this, because I made this like 10 years ago. But this is like a spot print. I don't know what the English word is. And I was amazed how accurate it was, because I made this when I was like 12 years old. But it's basically an image which really sort of sums up the world right now, because there's like all sorts of things going on. People are crashing, a fighter jet is going into the ground, somebody here is panicking, somebody there is smashing into the wall, all sorts of things going on in the world. And then somebody here is just chilling on his lounge chair with a cup of coffee, complaining about the energy prices and the electricity bills are going up. So I think that's pretty accurate. But yeah, also something to show on YouTube. So there's that. I remember this one actually. Like, a lot of my classmates were reading this and were saying like, why has he got 5 hairs? It needs to be symmetrical. It needs to be 4. So I made it 4. I'm going on way too long about all these kind of things. I'm gonna round it off here. Now you've caught up on the new updated room tour. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good Christmas. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.